All right, Haley, thank you. A Cape Coral widow is speaking out tonight about what she calls harassing tactics used by Bank of America and its debt collector. Linda Long says her husband was $16,000 in debt when he died, and she only had about $2 grand in assets.
Yeah, she says debt collectors came after her for her last penny. NBC2's Elizabeth Billingsley joining us in the studio. And Elizabeth, I understand she isn't even legally responsible for this debt.
Yes, Len, when a person dies, creditors and debt collectors do have the right to collect from that person's estate. But when there is no money in the estate, typically those debts go unpaid. Now, this is about debt collectors contacting the debtor's relatives and potentially misleading them to believe they do owe the debt.
In the corner of her aunt's Cape Coral home, Linda Long has keepsakes of her late husband.
In March it'll be 2 years, but it's still like it was just yesterday.
Millard and Linda Long were married for 40 years before a doctor told her the bad news.
He said, "Your husband has cancer, and it spread to the liver." And they gave him 6 months, and I was devastated.
8 months later, Millard succumbed. And not long after, the calls started.
2 months.
Her husband owed more than $16,000 in credit card debt when he died, penniless. The debt collector asked for anything she could pay.
I had $2,000 left. That's all I had. I told Jason. He says, "Well, can't you send it to me?" I said, "Well, what am I going to do? I'll have nothing then."
The calls started the same way.
First, this is an attempt to collect a debt. Any information obtained will be used for that purpose. And be advised, as a family member, you are not personally responsible to pay this debt.
Bank of America knew she didn't know this money, and Bank of America should have never gotten a debt collector to come after her for them.
Billy Howard represents Linda and others like her, battling to change the collection tactics. He says they're intentionally designed to prey upon grieving family members.
It's causing a lot of damage to a lot of families throughout the country.
Howard has his own litigation tactics, punitive damages.
The only way to stop a bank is to hit them in the pocketbook. That's the only language that they understand.
For Linda, it's personal.
You feel hopeless, you feel helpless, and I hope I could keep other people from doing this.
We reached out today, but Bank of America and West Asset Management would not comment on this story today.